Welcome guys to the orchestra round of Next Top Singer season 11. We're all the way into round 5 now, so it's really intense and we have only 12 contestants left that are going down to a top 6. Today we are going to pick the top 5, because as you know, the 6th spot goes to the audience star. So let's start with pasting our votes, and then I actually have a note that I want to say to a lot of contestants, so it's gonna be a little intro there. 1, 2, 3.
Yes. Wait, no. Damn. I didn't know.
Oh my god.
Oh
wait.
God.
I actually predicted that.
Excuse me,
God.
Hooney.
Okay.
I saw your score for one particular contestant. That can't be, because this was one that didn't even follow the theme. So
I think I know which one. I think I don't know. I actually haven't actually like really focused on the theme. I did mention for some that it's like, is this really on theme? But like,
yeah,
for the most part, I didn't actually consider the theme meeting yet.
the theme is a big thing for me. It's probably the one that I was looking forward to the most. So yeah, I definitely took that into consideration. And also the rules say you should deduct points for not following the theme. So
I think it's because I can hear why it could be considered as orchestra, even though it's not as big, as grandiose as like your usual like really orchestral band. It's like slightly band orchestra instead of like pure orchestra. I think that's the reason why I haven't like really delve into like, do I deduct scores for some of these?
I'm depressed now.
Or not? Like
yeah, I feel like I need to go into my long note here to everyone, because it's kind of explaining where I am with the theme and everything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that while John
I
is
got everything.
getting his votes together.
I got it. It's fine. I did it.
Okay, let's paste everything. So 1, 2, 3 again.
Wait, I actually can't.
Excuse
copy
me?
this. Hold on.
I mean,
Hold on.
Are you guys sure you have it in the correct order?
I have, yes.
Because this is not making sense, especially top performance. No, top performance is completely random for you guys this time. No, I don't see
I picked it. I chose it.
You went to random.org to pick a random person.
Nah, dog. I chose it because I know what I'm about.
No.
At least
Don't
some
use
of these...
random.org for this, please.
Man.
I love that site,
least-
but...
Yeah, at least we have half of them agreed on.
Yeah, most of them were pretty agreed.
First of all, I actually have a note to most contestants. Your body of work should tell a story. This round, we really start to go into the dramatics. Most contestants did not follow the theme this round. If 1 or 2 people didn't do it, then it's their fault. But if most contestants don't do it, then it's time to start asking, maybe it's our fault. But then we all read the theme description of this round. Large orchestra pieces, strings, brass, etc. Other than that, you can choose any genre. Think Adele's Skyfall or I Put a Spell on You by Nina Simone as examples. Orchestral is pretty self-explanatory to me, and there were even examples in the description, like that you could hear the vibe we were going for. So I don't really think there's any excuse here, sadly. Cameron, Daniel, Michael, Robert and Ty nailed the theme. Libby's was kind of close, but maybe not. The rest are off theme, and we were getting point deductions for that specifically. Orchestra doesn't mean a pop song with some strings. It's supposed to be a distinct full sound. It should sound like a concert hall full of instruments. Drum machines are not indicative of an orchestra either. It kind of takes me out of the theme, of the theme immersion. The point of this is that you need to show that you're able to stand out despite so many instruments competing for the attention. So you kind of miss the mark, unfortunately. That doesn't mean that the 5 I mentioned are the 5 I'm voting in necessarily, because there are a lot of other things to take into consideration other than the theme specifically. But those who follow the theme definitely have an advantage. So let's go on with the deliberation. Do you agree with that, with what I just said? Do you have any objections?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, like, what's it called? Michael is ish. Wait, Michael was on theme, never mind. Robert was kind of on the bridge because it's a musical, so that's iffy. Dreams to Dreams is iffy as well, but also like it is very much pop rock in a sense. So yeah, I get what you're saying with that.
I didn't hear an
Valentine's
orchestra in Munjo's performance. It was a pop ballad.
Yeah, no, there wasn't. It was just it was like guitar and like guitar, some keys, and then I think that's about it. Valentine's Own was apparently opera rock, which I have never heard of, but I ain't gonna lie, that shit was tough. I don't know if it counts as orchestra though, but I should be somewhat.
Yeah, that's also the thing. I also agree, like, to some extent. But that's also the thing, because like orchestra is also somewhat of a layered genre, or like house of genre, because like you can also be like kind of soft with the orchestral piece. It doesn't have to be as grandiose as always, because like for example, Carlos was actually quite orchestral at the back. It's just not as big as the other choices that were like really orchestral. So like,
I didn't hear a concert hall full of instruments in his performance though.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
That's not really orchestral to me.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't always be grandiose when it comes to orchestral, but at the same time, I do agree to some extent. So like, it's a little bit of like a bridge between like because orchestra it's not just orchestra at the end of the day. Just like many genres that exists in the world, it's definitely something to talk about.
Yeah, so let's go to the top performance considerations. I thought for sure that this was going to be 3 10s and an easy top performance for us, but apparently not. It can never be easy.
No,
it can never be easy.
Yeah, unless you're a Nina.
Yeah, unless you're Nina.
Okay, so my top performance consideration is colors. So you have great audio quality and volume, and then clean and delicate performance, riffs and runs appreciated, and it definitely topped your writings on the wall cover from last season. And then dynamic showcase, emotional delivery, and vocal transition showcase present, and excellent harmony arrangement. I love the canon parts, chromatics, and the twist of pentatonic Middle Eastern riffs. And then I appreciate the energy pickup and the sub harmonies at the end. And then if some parts were to be airier at the beginning, this would be even better. When you look at my score criteria, it's actually not a full 10, because there are some things that I have to say about it, and that is the switch to a darker mouth placement, like was like a bit abrupt. It would have been nicer to like ease into it instead of like jumping right in. And then some instances of the riff and runs could be cleaner. So like if you look at my scoring criteria, it's actually a 9.75, but I rounded up. So it's my first 10 after the audition phase. Keep this up, polish things even further, and you're officially the whole package.
But how can you give a 10 if it's not perfect? That doesn't make sense to me.
I rounded up.
Why not give a 9.5 in that case?
Well,
you got a 9.75.
Yeah, I got a 9.75, and I have set in my scoring criteria that I will round up if it's above 1.5.
To me, that loses the whole point of a 10, which means perfect, literally. But
yeah,
you do you, I guess. But still, I still think he should have gotten point deductions for the theme. But yet again, you don't agree that it's not on theme.
I can actually pull up the original. Wait, the reference is pretty orchestral. It's just that, well, again, the instrumental.
It doesn't have that concert feel.
Yeah, it was basically just piano with strings and some other things, but it wasn't orchestral. I mean, orchestra should be really prominent strings and brass and a lot of other stuff.
That's what I've been saying. Orchestral have layers, and that's why I'm like I don't even mention theme, but for Carlos. But like I do have comments regarding meeting the theme for some of these. When it comes to like borderline, it would be Carlos. So I agree to some extent.
Yeah.
First of all, amazing emotion. The vibrato sounds a little bit put on to me though. You showed a lot of range, but the lower range sounds a bit throaty. Be careful with pushing the low notes. It won't destroy your voice as quickly as pushing high notes, but still it's not good either. But beautiful harmonies, runs, and great dynamics. A couple of pitchy moments, especially in some runs and transitions, but overall great pitch. The belting is better than ever, so great job on that. You have been working on it, which I've been asking you to. The run at 240 was insane. That was so good. And there are a lot of complicated runs in this performance as well that I have to give you big credits for. Side note, but I think it's funny the way you pronounce it, Fur Elise, because you have a cat in the video. It's supposed to be Fear Elise, but that's besides the point. I suppose it's like that in the original song as well. Otherwise,
oh no, it's not like that in the original.
It isn't.
I think it's intentional.
Oh,
it isn't.
Yeah, anyway,
I think
okay.
it's intentional.
It doesn't matter because it's not a German pronunciation competition or something. But anyway, this would have been a 9 if you were following the theme. In my opinion, you did not. But like we have talked about, there's some discrepancies between the judges about that. That said, you are fighting very hard for your place in the top 6, and it shows. So that's why it's a yes from all of us. So
hello, my guy, my savior, my love. You came through for me today.
That's big words.
A big way. Nah, because bro, when I listen to the performance, I'm just like, yo, who dropped this man into the competition? Because he came here, he cooked up and left, dog. Like, we've already basically said what's great about this performance, especially like the way you move it with the runs. Love that. Just schmexy. Love that one there. Of course, the control is good, tone is good, pitch is good, everything good. Like the harmonies as well, when I was just ascending each and every time. God himself could not touch me how high I was going. It was tough. When you're able to run up and down the notes, especially in this one part where you had to switch octaves and then go right back into the original tone, that was sexy. I would have given you a 10, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I just didn't feel like giving a 10.
Wait, do you have a reason not to?
Yeah, no, I actually do have a reason. It was again the discrepancy of, is this kind of on theme? But I mean, that's kind of hypocritical coming from the one I did give a 10, but still. Like,
yeah,
it's
it is.
Also just, there could have been more. I think that's why. I don't know what exactly, but it just felt something was missing. That could be me tripping, I'll be real. But all in all, you already had the yes from me from the jump. You did really well here.
To be honest, he wasn't in for me from the beginning because I was trying to find reasons not to get him in because we only have 5 spots and there are others that have been nailing it throughout the competition more, I think. But I couldn't find a justification to vote him out, so it was a clear yes in the end to me.
Oh, yeah, by the way, I found
controversial.
I found the reference for Carlos's rendition. It's not actually the original. It's like the orchestra version. The bigger orchestra version of it. It definitely only have piano and strings. I think like that's the dominant instruments of the orchestra, but it is orchestral in a way. Like when I heard it, I was like, oh, it was not the original that he referenced from. It's actually this one because it's actually kind of bigger than the original.
I can't listen to it without interrupting the recording. Should we listen to it?
Yeah, go ahead if you want to like take a break for listening to it.
Okay.
His knee just cracked.
Okay, I am recording again. So that version is definitely orchestral, but then again, I have listened to Carlos's version over and over, and that wasn't the instrumental that I got from that. Still, I can bump it up half a point because it's kind of borderline. So I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
You don't got it if you don't want to.
Yay! Yeah, oh my god.
I'm gonna concede a little bit.
Alright,
not
low key.
Fully, but
Alright, low key. Alright. I'm gonna change something. Like, I don't want to, but I feel like I can't be a hypocrite. I really can't. I don't have the right to do that. Yeah. I want to give my girl the points that she doesn't. I can't be. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. Who's gonna? Wait.
Congratulations, Huni. Wait, did you just bump his score just because?
No, because I feel like I'm being a bit too hypocritical. Like,
yeah, about the theme.
So his performance was good. It was good.
I disagree with this. I think there were several flaws in his performance. I don't see that this deserves 2 10s.
It's up to debate. That's for sure. I won't say that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I disagree with you, but it's definitely something to debate.
We don't have that much time, so let's move on to the other top performance consideration, and that was mine.
Is Georgia on my mind.
So,
yes, who is that?
This was really good. I ain't gonna lie to you, brother.
So Ty, my God, Ty, Where have you been this entire season? I mean, this version of you. This is such a huge leap from your previous work. I have been asking dynamics from you. Every round I went dynamics, and you didn't listen to me, and you didn't get it, and I was so frustrated. But then you gave me this. This is what I'm talking about. The softness and the power. This together with your runs are a lethal combo in this competition. You could be unstoppable in this competition if you just go on like this. You have your stellar falsetto as always, your incredible range, and now you are the triple threat that I have been wishing you could be. Now you have the runs, the range, and the power. They are much needed ingredients to be the next top singer. The piercing voice in the end is such a nice contrast to the smoothness. Ray Charles was an icon and he would be proud of this. It's up to you now whether you will keep on blowing us away and solidifying your spot in the final next round, or if you will fall far. So don't do that, because a lot of people have done that before you. Please keep this up. This is a 10.
Oh my god.
Alright.
So now I'm really interested in the flaws in this.
You just sound good. Like, I really don't know what else to say, man. Like, I couldn't find anything to say that wouldn't be just repeating, you have good tone, you have good, like, control pitch, blah. Your emotion was really good on this one, I'll give you that. Like, the most exemplary thing from you just did really well. I don't know what else to tell you, man. You did good.
He did more than really well. He did amazing. This is like one of the best performances this entire season. I don't get why you're just gushing over this. You should be gushing over this.
I don't know. But it's not. But
Have you even
mentioned
mentioned the runs? Excuse me?
The runs are alright. The runs were sexy. Okay, the runs are sexy. I'll tell you that. It was clean, harmonic, good. All right, it's a good performance. I don't know what else to say. It's good.
Okay, I'm in the middle.
The runs were more crazy than normal.
Yeah, I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle. I agree to both of you at some point. So for Thai, again, great audio quality and volume, and a very Thai song choice, like Love, the sultry jazz orchestra, and emotional delivery and vocal transitions showcase present, and love the head voice, definitely something you excel at, the head voice. And then dynamic showcase and lovely riffs and runs, as always as well. And oh my god, finally belting and growling showcase from you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But the reason why I don't have it as 10 is because, well, it mostly pertains to details and polishing up, and that is like at 327. The belt felt rough, whiny, and also not on key, sadly. And then, even though the belts are appreciated, they could be more supported and be less heady and be less wide. Because currently, it's leaning towards a heady mix instead of like a pure chest mix. And I do know that you have problems regarding belting for the long run, but that's something to be considered as well, to polish up the belts. Also, something I noticed is your tendency of going down when it comes to like riffing and runs. Like, try to go up for your riffs and runs to like be bigger at moments, and the belts as well, so that things don't stay as quote-unquote repetitive. And more belts, please and thank you.
Wait, which timestamp was the pitchy part?
327.
I'm gonna go to that.
Yeah, it's like...
Okay,
yeah.
I'm back. I listened to that 337 part, or 327 part, and that is actually part of the blues scale, so that was not off key.
No, but like it's not the right pitch. I'm not saying that it's the wrong key, like actually wrong key, but like he hits off.
No, I don't hear that. What do you hear, John?
Okay.
I hear a guy singing a song. It sounds pretty while he does it. That's all I'll tell you.
Okay, awesome. Let's move on.
Yeah.
So are you guys completely set on Carlos?
Yes.
Yep.
You didn't hear the flaws that I mentioned then?
The what flaws for Carlos?
The flaws you mentioned were mostly based on the genre rather than like the actual performance mostly, which is fair.
Yeah.
So I think it's just because I can see where you consider it not orchestral and like more just people playing instruments.
Yeah,
That's
but
like
there were
instrument
also...
heavy rather than orchestral.
But like I said, there was a problems in his low notes, and he had some pitchy moments in the runs and transitions.
It's not that I didn't hear it. It's not as major as pretty much the ones that I didn't actually give a 10 to. Like for Ty, I did hear the whiny, a little bit like squeezed through belts towards the end. That's one reason why I deducted the score, because like I was actually considering to give Ty a 9.5 if the belts were like a bit cleaner. I didn't really hear major long-term issues in Carlos, and I think it's the theme, because like Carlos is one of those dramatic singers, but he doesn't actually do this kind of song, and I think this is one of the challenge for him, and I appreciate that the challenge is well met.
I just think this is such a huge leap from his previous performances, and I think that should be rewarded, because he has never belted before.
Wholeheartedly,
and his belting is just another style of belting, I think, where it's really piercing. And sure, he's not as powerful as let's say Christina Aguilera, but this is his style of belting, and I think you're being too hard on him on that.
I wasn't even trying to be hard on him. This was my answer because like there was nothing I could add or say, because again, I don't have like the whole musical experience to like get the little intricacies that say Huni would see. And overall, his performance was great. Again, I don't see anything wrong with it, and he did good. It was pretty and it was emotional. Bump that up, good belting, good control, all of that good shit. I just gave it 8 because that's the safest number I can say.
Would you consider bumping up the score for him?
Oh yeah, easily. No question.
Yeah, I would argue for that for you, Petri. I would argue that.
I don't care about the score. I want to see all yellows, but whatever. We're not getting it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't give a crap about the scores.
Damn. Not my boy.
Okay,
but at least
moving on.
There's
nothing I can say that to make you see how wrong you are. So.
Yeah, seems so.
We can be wrong. We can agree to disagree. It's the reason why we have 3 judges.
Exactly.
I'm disappointed. But okay, let's talk about more important stuff, which is the actual top 5 discussion. We should not go on for that much longer, which is really scary because we kind of need to, I think.
Yeah.
We are. I mean, it's not too bad for some of these.
I was deciding between Lebis and Michael. I was really unsure between them, so I'm fine with that swap.
Yeah, I need to talk about Michael, because Michael is probably just the most polarizing no for me, because he sang this song well. The problem, it's Frank Sinatra. I've heard this man too many times. I'm tired. It needs to stop. Y'all, I get it. He was a great singer, revolutionized all genres of music. I understand. His songs are legendary. Stop. We got them already in the first, second, and third round. I'm done. I'm tired. Okay? Like, you sang it well. There was nothing bad about it, but there was nothing special about it either. And that's the issue. If you sing this pretty, you basically sang the song well. And if you add emotion, congratulations, you did it even. Yeah. But that's it. There's nothing to add. There's nothing to like chew on. It's like getting a mint. You pop it in your mouth and like, damn, that was nice for the moment it was there. And
you love the food references, but I think we need to get into specific reasons here, which I can give my feedback if you want to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I
disagree that there was nothing to chew on, basically. I mean, there were dynamics in this, so let me get into my feedback. Good song choice for this round. Again, a little questionable that it's Frank Sinatra. He's so oversung in this competition and generally. But still, it suited the theme. You are missing a little more depth and body behind your voice for this kind of song though. But the range suited you. It's hard not to compare to Frank Sinatra, and most of the time it is a bad idea to cover such an icon. But that said, I think you did a great job actually. There's dynamics and subtle vibrato in this. There's power and emotion. The mid-range didn't sound smooth though, and the first belted My Way had an inflection that didn't suit the mature quality of the song, and it came back a few times after that. But that's just a nitpick basically. It would be better to just hit the note rather than having that slap there, in my opinion. But I did enjoy the grit towards the end.
Why am I always in the middle of you guys? Damn. So, okay, Michael, lovely vibrato at the end of sentences, like fitting for the song, and then the vocal transitions are clean. The ad-libs at the end are really pretty, and a very big song choice. It gives me the similar vibe to like Circle of Life from The Lion King. And then, as Petri said, the dynamic showcase is also present, but it sadly took too long for the build-up. I think this stems from song choice issue because like almost 2-minute mark and it felt samey. And another energy pickup on the 3-minute mark. So like the energy pickup happened 2 times, but they took too long and they're towards the end of the song. So, and also, is there no reverb to this? I think this song would have benefited from the addition because it felt kind of dry. And then the first 3 minutes of the song, which means almost the entire song, sadly, felt quite one-dimensional and straight tone, even with the added vibrato. Oh, I think this has never been mentioned before. I think Michael has the same issue as Cameron, and that is a very blueprint delivery of the song chosen. Basically, if the song entails, for example,
you sing the song how it comes packaged.
Yeah, like you sing the package. You don't open it up. You don't decorate it by yourself. You don't actually like unpackage everything, but you sing the whole package. So like it's a good thing, but it's missing that personal touch. It doesn't feel like it's you singing. It's like you're covering. You're just covering.
This is what I was trying to get at when I was saying it just kind of had nothing to chew on. I know I was kind of being non-specific with how you described it. I think I can now. The problem with songs like even like Billie Jean, My Way, these iconic songs, right? You hear like the Michael Jackson, Frank Sinatra. You're not hearing the actual person when they sing songs like that, and that's the issue. You just sound like you're taking the song, you're saying it in your voice, and just trying to mimic it as best as possible without anything else. I'm not going to say you sang bad by any means. No, you had great control. I liked how you were going with the pitch and everything. Everything about that was good. The problem was that's just My Way. That's literally the song. It just meant to sound good like that. Anybody could sing that song and sound good. But to sound great, you need to somehow take this iconic song that is already known worldwide or whatever for this very specific tone of voice and very specific style of singing. You're going to have to somehow innovate and make it sound like you're singing it. And that's really hard to do with songs like this. Like My Way, it's so simple. It's a crescendo. The entire song just builds up to the end where you go, I did it, all of that. Once you reach that part, you're done with the song. There's not a lot to go to actually innovate. With more niche songs or even songs that just have emotional depth to it, you can add that personal element a lot easier. The emotion's kind of what driving it.
We have to move on because I don't have that much time to edit.
The basic simple analogy of it is like you're getting an ice cream. You're getting a vanilla ice cream even without the cone. It tastes vanilla, but I don't taste the cone. I don't taste nothing else.
There are too many contestants to talk about. We have to talk about Moonjo because that's a big discrepancy, I think. She was your initial top performance, John, so that's really interesting because she was very far from that for me. Do you want to go first then, John?
Firstly, girl's voice was immaculate the entire time. Just clear, crisp, everything that we've been saying before about control, tone, all of that. She got it, okay? Emotion, just yes. I felt everything, every note, every breath, yes, God. So I think the main thing is just the way it's edited, one, and two, the choice of song. Because for Moon, she has a very pretty and delicate sound, but she can be really powerful if she wants to. And this song kind of allowed for all of that to in the most beautiful ways possible, and combine that with the subtle echo and reverb that you have that you can, if you pay attention enough, you can hear it, and it just it makes the performance that much better. It's just yes, that is what I love. And just the entire thing, it felt like her own. I felt like she put a spin on it. It's really good. I had to change it out of morality rather than my actual choice, I would have given it a 10, but I don't want to be hypocritical and I want to be a good judge. So Moon, in my heart, you're a 10, but in reality, you are an 8.5 or a 9. So I gave you the 9.
Okay. So I think I will go next because Petri is going to be the deal breaker. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's be nice first. Okay, so Munjo, a lovely riffs and runs. I think it's like the first time that's like your proper riff and runs showcase that is like very in the forward. Because like at the top of my head, this is the only instance of riffs and runs that I've remembered from you. So yes, potentially good showcase of vibrato during the softer parts and clean, powerful belts. And quite a big song choice, appreciated, and emotional delivery present, but it could be much better, and dynamic showcase and vocal transitions present. And I think the reason why I said the emotional delivery could be better is because of the straight tone delivery that sadly still persists in parts. And for such an emotional and big song, you need to showcase more flair and more vulnerability. And one such way is to add in vibrato and also like dynamic variations within the phrases itself. Because like it's dynamic, but in the phrases themselves, they feel straight toned. Going forward, be creative with your placement, with your delivery, with your dynamics, with your vocal transitions. Like show us more and take a risk on how to deliver more than what is there. Just like the thing that I said with my culture. That's why I give
fair criticism, so I agree with that.
Yeah, I gave an 8.
You guys are really generous. Maybe I'm way out there, but let's get into mine. So first of all, Munjo, I'm a big fan of your voice, as always. This did not suit the theme, however. Like I've already talked about. I enjoy the dynamics and getting and that you're getting stronger during the end of your notes. I'm a big fan of that. Some runs and it's slightly off pitch though, but my biggest issue with this is that there's a lack of vibrato in the long notes. It takes away from the emotion. I was not touched by this performance, and that sucks to say because I know this song means a lot to you and everything, but long sustained notes are not more than a waiting game for me if they don't make me feel anything. Even when there was vibrato, it was barely noticeable. Lovely belting, however, and I love the transition towards head voice in the last chorus. You would suit a country performance, I think. So I hear some versatility in your voice. A delicate head voice in the end saved the emotion a little bit for me. The breath support is great with many sustained notes, so that was definitely a big plus. But it wasn't enough to get into my top 5 personally, but you were really close. I think it was the theme that was the deciding factor this time. How many points did you deduct for the theme? Because it was just a pop ballad.
Yeah, I haven't deducted.
I deducted 1.
I haven't deducted because this is one of the songs that I have in mind that is like questionable. So I think I will actually drop 0.5. It's still big.
It is a big sound, but it's not orchestral in that sense. I think.
Yeah.
It's like half there.
It's right in that middle.
Yeah, because otherwise all ballads would be orchestral. And they're not.
Yeah,
they're
true,
ballads.
true.
There's a difference.
Yeah, like I said, orchestral is a lot of layers.
And I love ballads, so it's not like I'm biased towards the genre or anything. I actually love ballads, but it's not what I had in mind for this theme.
Like autism, it's a spectrum.
I'm on it.
Yeah.
But there should be... there are orchestral versions of ballads, and this was just a ballad.
Yeah.
So
actually,
Munjo,
Munjo still lands on 8 for me because like if I deduct a 0.5 for the other theme, it's actually 7.75.
Damn.
Okay.
But like I agreed with both of y'all points when it came to like how she delivered everything. That's fair, honestly.
Did you guys feel the emotion?
I did feel
felt
at
it,
moments.
but that might be different.
Yeah, I feel
was
at
gonna say,
moments.
for me, it was more at peaks, not throughout the entire thing. Just at certain bits, you're just like, ooh, that hit me, and then it kind of trailed off for a bit. Then, ooh, that hit me again.
The ending kinda hit me, but otherwise I wasn't particularly touched by the emotion. It was mostly due to the lack of vibrato, like I said. So that's I
felt it during the moments when she goes soft and adding the vibrato in. But like when it comes to like the bigger parts, that is the straight tone belting, I didn't feel much of it. It's getting there, but like if you added the vibrato and like some flair to it, I think that would like elevate the emotional delivery even more.
Is there anyone else you want to talk about? I think Robert is gonna be controversial.
Yeah, I was about to say. I predicted that Robert is going to be a contention.
Robert.
Amazing emotion, dynamic shown, and power. You have a very unique voice that I've grown to love. The vibrato is so delicate, and an airy voice shows such sensitivity, along with the belting that's better than ever. You have worked on your belting, and I love that. That said, I am disappointed in you.
Ow.
So buckle up, because this is gonna be rough. This was again one of my top performance considerations until I heard your so-called raw stems. As Huni proved in Melodyne, they are clearly pitch corrected, which is dishonest because you were asked to send raw stems. And it's not fair to the other contestants, as you're basically trying to scam us. So we are trying to find the next top singer, not the next top person who knows how to edit to make it sound like they're the best singer. So, and I need to judge on the pitch. That is one of my main considerations. So since I'm not able to do that, I don't know if I can put you through at all, unfortunately. What I do know about Melodyne, however, is that from personal experience, if a note is heavily pitch corrected, if it's not even close to the right pitch, then it's gonna sound very fake and digital.
Yeah.
And exactly. In general, your notes don't sound like that, except in a few instances, like the "I'm just a man" in the end. So that leads me to believe that your pitch isn't terrible, at least. But there's definitely point drops, and for now I'm not voting you through. But I'm open for changing my mind. Pitch isn't everything, so it's still gonna be a 7. But this could have been a 10 if the pitch were real.
Okay, so I think I will go next. No. You're not supposed to go next. You're the most negative.
Fine.
Okay, so again, I'm always in the middle. So Robert,
Malcolm in the middle.
Before that, I personally don't see a problem using Melodyne to a certain extent. Because like when it comes to Melodyne, you have to sing it near the key to be able to sound human. And that is the case for Robert. It does have some bits of humane to the voice, but that's also the thing. I think Robert is over cleaning his pitch with Melodyne to the point where it's like 0% deviation and very straight. That's not helping because the fact that some of his belting choices are in straight tone. Melodyne comes in and he becomes even straighter. That is something that is ingenuine. Don't. To the actual feedback is that the legato delivery is very appreciated. It's very connected, even though I did notice some cuts in the middle. So if the cuts were to be polished even more, I think the legato would be even more connected. And then emotional delivery present, beautiful dynamic showcase and vocal transitions present, great belts, and I love the airy and slightly shaky delivery at the end. I think it's the part that Patry mentioned, the "I'm just a man" at the very end. Something I've noticed from you is that you tend to imitate the character in songs, especially when the original is by a male singer, because it's easier to imitate. It happens when you're singing Michael Jackson. It's happening now when you're singing Jorge. I think that's how you pronounce.
Jorge.
Yeah.
Right.
Jorge. I don't know how to pronounce things. Well, I'm
it's
just
okay,
gonna.
it's Spanish.
Mr. Rivera.
There you go.
It feels very Melodyne. I know the original is also quite tuned. I think that's like the case with every legendary songs. They're quite tuned, but like I think this one is like less tuned of the whole bunch. It's also something to be considered when submitting into a competition. This also relates to my imitating comment. I only deducted 0.5, but I think I will actually drop more after this. What to do for you is I would suggest to avoid mimicking vocal tendencies of the original singers of your own chosen songs. Don't just take the whole package and leave it like that. You need to open it up and actually debunk everything and be creative rather than molding yourself to become the original artist.
I'm gonna try my best not to be me because I genuinely don't want to be. And here's why. Robert, Firstly, you are not a bad singer before I get into anything, okay? You sound good. My problem isn't that you use Melodyne. My problem is that you overused it, okay? You can pitch correct. There's nothing wrong with that. And the original song is very much tuned. Petri stated. This isn't me defending Epic or anything like that. This is just me solely talking about your performance, just so that there's no like hint of bias, okay? The song itself is very vulnerable. And the problem with you overusing Melodyne is that you removed almost all human elements. So, you know, your voice breaking or cracking or the breathiness of certain notes and whatever else, causing it to sound not just stale and straight, but again, inhuman. Odysseus is out here struggling with his morality, trying to debate whether or not he to kill a child just because there is a chance he'll come back to kill him one day, okay? That is a hell of a dilemma to be in, especially since God himself pulled up and said, hey, if you don't do it, it's gonna happen. So when you make it sound so straight and there's no like spice or anything to it without any of that human connection that we're looking for, it sounds bad. Not in the sense of your technique is bad, but just the song itself doesn't sound like how it's supposed to. It's vulnerable. You're trying to feel for this man who's caught between like the worst decisions he could have possibly made, and it just sounds too simple. I'll agree with Hooney in the last bit. I really did feel that one sang just a man that breath in, like after re-listening, that was good. I like that, and that's because there's human bits in it. You see where I'm getting at? In the future, don't necessarily stop using Melodyne. You can tune your audio, you can do whatever else, but all I'm saying is try and not to overtune it to the point that this happens. You're not a bad singer. I think you did well, and it's clear that you do have talent because Melodyne is just an auto that you can press a button and the things get better. So it's clear that you have talent, but just in this case, do not use as much tuning as you did now.
Yeah.
But as for me, I just, no.
I don't know if I could condone pitch correction at all in a singing competition, because that's not your singing. That is just the computer doing the work for you. It is much more work to edit in Melodyne than just slapping autotune on it, although it's usually a combination of the two. But still, it's not your talent then. It's your talent with the computer. So I don't condone it. But still, I would have been willing to put him through if he at least sent raw stems like we asked him to. If he did that, then I probably would have said yes either way, because his emotion was there and everything.
He did send the raws, no?
No.
Yeah, he did.
He sent raw stems that weren't raw. It was his pitch corrected.
That's what you meant.
Yeah.
That's what you meant. Okay.
That's some real raw stems. I won't lie. I love hearing.
It's literally dead on, zero deviation.
Yeah, and that's not natural.
Yeah.
It needs to be wibbly wobbly. I don't know why it's so straight.
Yeah, especially, like, my point is that don't overdo it, especially if the song doesn't call for it.
Exactly.
That's not to mean you need to imitate again. That's a different topic. We could go on and on and on.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I would like to switch out Moonjo for either Valentin or Robert. Probably not Robert because of the things we just said, but maybe Valentin.
Like, I love Valentin, and his performance is great. I'm willing to bump it, but I would have to remove somebody, and I don't want to get rid of Moonjo. Because I like how they sing.
Yeah,
you guys felt the emotion with that one. I think that's the big discrepancy.
I think when it comes to like Valentin and Robert, they have a samey problem, but it's branching out. Like for Robert, it's the Melodyne, and for Valentin, it's the
lack of versatility.
Yeah.
That and also there are some things that is not utilized well, because like in this song specifically, there's quite a bit of an instrumental break that he didn't utilize well. The fact that the song is barely even 3 minutes, it means less time to be able to hear him, and that it's like a missed opportunity.
Also, for me personally, when I was listening to Valentin's performance, I won't lie, I was listening to more of the instrumental than his voice. Some kind of sucky to say, and this is not me trying to defame him, but like straight up, I was listening to it more, and it may be because I found the beat more interesting, but also just like, it was kind of more of the same that I've heard from him. And again, I like this, but you hear something enough time. I would like to get into my feedback of Valentin, but we're really out of time now. I would have preferred to have stopped 22 minutes ago, so I think we gotta call it done now.
unfortunately.
Okay then, unfortunately.
Otherwise, I'm never gonna be done in time. Not
Yeah.
that good and everything.
Next is just choice, okay.
We have decided top 5. The top 5 plus 1 is going into the judge's choice theme. So guys, it's time for us to pick our songs. It's gonna be exciting.
Yes.
Yeah, it's always so fun to hear someone pick a song that you picked for them. So it's always my favorite round, especially if they do them well. So it's semi-final, and then finally we're gonna find out who is the next top singer. It's not far now, guys. It's like
Oh my
1.5
God, good luck.
months left.
Yes, good luck to everyone.
Good luck, guys.
Live life, eat good, sleep well.
Okay.
Yes, stay healthy, guys.
Make sure you don't stress out your voice too much. Come on.
Make sure
Okay.
to properly rest.
Thanks for watching. Stick around so you don't miss the upcoming results. If you like the show, please consider subscribing, giving a thumbs up, and leaving a comment.